Greetings and salutations, humans. Welcome to the channel. This is your host, Putinbot. Today we're going to be doing a guide on the Demonspawn magic epic called Excruciator. On a lot of the different tier lists that you're able to find from different websites, different content creators, Excruciator usually kind of ranks a little bit low. Today you and I are going to test and we're going to see, is that ranking valid? Is she a diamond in the rough? We will find out today. You and I will test this together. And with any luck, she will be able to outperform Taya. But granted, that bar is very, very low because that champion was a bit of a disappointment. So without any further ado, let's go to Excruciator. Let's look at her kit and see what she's able to do for us. First, as I mentioned, she's a Demonspawn. She looks like Catrax's little sister. Floating around, got the boots, got the tentacles. Said she is magic affinity, and let's look at her skills. We'll look at her stats. We'll show her masteries, and then we will see what she's able to do and see where she's able to play at. So her A1 Flicker Strike attacks one enemy. Damage increases by 20% while attacking under a Veil buff. Heals this champion by 25% of the damage inflicted while attacking without a Veil buff. So if at all possible, you want to run her with someone who is able to give her a Veil. A obvious choice for this is Duchess. Another option though is a other Demonspawn epic champion I'll be doing a guy on in the future called Infernal Baroness, who's also able to put out a Veil. Her A2 Neck Snapper attacks one enemy. Damage increases by 35% while attacking under a Veil buff. While attacking under Veil buff, enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived, which is always nice. And block revive is always a handy thing to have. While attacking without a Veil buff, fully depletes the target's turn meter and fills this champion's turn meter equal to the amount the target loses. Can only decrease the turn meter by 50% against bosses. This turn meter decrease cannot be resisted. And so what that means is you don't need to build any accuracy at all in her kit. She's just all about damage. She's an attack-based champion and she hits like a brick. I did get a blessing on her. I got really lucky. I got this 5-star and I went to Phantom Touch just to get some extra damage. And as you can see, it's pretty juicy. I mean, she was already juicy before, but now very much, now even more so. Artifacts, I've got her in Savage. I've got her in Speed Boots. I've got her in an Attack Chest. Crit Damage Gloves. Take a look at that crit rate roll on that. That's just disgusting. Then I got the rest of the crit rate I needed off of her weapon, and off of her helmet, and off of her shield. And I prioritized attack with crit damage. Went with an attack ring, a crit damage amulet, and an attack banner. Total stats for Excruciator. Her attack is 5,747. So needless to say, she packs a punch. Her defense is non-existent. Speed is 207. A little slow. I'd like to get that quicker, but with the gear that I've got her in, it's just how it's going to be. Crit rate is 101%, and her crit damage is 279%. And then her masteries, I've got her going down defense and offense. The support tree does nothing for her. I mean, maybe if you go down to lasting gifts and support, you can extend the veil that she gives herself with her passive. And I think I just completely forgot to go over her veil. But I'll go back to that here in just a moment. I apologize. I went down to Helm Smasher. Just gave her a chance to ignore defense, and then defense to give her some survivability, and I ended off in Retribution. So go back into her skills. Her passive places a Veil buff on this champion for one turn at the beginning of each round. Places a Veil buff on this champion for one turn each time they kill an enemy. Now the problem about Veil is that once you do something, you lose it. It's not like a perfect Veil. But if you kill someone, she just reapplies it. But running her with someone like Duchess or Infernal Baroness just makes it where that's not even an issue. So any further ado, let's go in and let's do a damage test and see how hard it is that she hits. just go into Dragon's Lair. We'll do Dragon Stage 20 because, like I said, she is Magic Affinity. And I'm just going to do just a out-and-out damage test. I want to see how hard she hits. Actually, yeah, let's just put Alika back in here. This will work well. Now keep in mind, Alika has an AoE, whereas everything Excruciator does is single target. So that is something to keep in mind here. But Alika is probably the hardest hitting epic I have on my account. So this would be a good test. So let's do an attack up buff from Arbiter. We'll do defense down and weaken from Lydia. And with Alika, let's do her A2 on this Bombardier here on the far right hand side. I'm going to slow this down. 170k. Not bad at all. Now let's do Excruciator's A2 on this Bombardier on the left. 267,000. Y'all, she packs a punch. Let's do this again. Alika's A2. Let's have her hit this Apothecary here in the middle. 166,000. And Excruciator will have her hit this Horden. 131. She got a little bit of a weak hit that time, but you know that's impressive. Let's just go and see how hard the A1 hits. Okay, so Alika just killed that one, so we'll call it 200,000. Let's get a defense down and weaken up again. Just again, we'll do Alika's A1 here against this Horden on the right hand side. Sometimes she just got the single proc. Okay, let's see how much Excruciator does against this one here on the left. 90k. It's very comparable. We're just going to speed this up. Yeah, I mean, all in all, she is impressive. Where you're going to see the most use out of her is going to be earlier mid-game in the arena. And I'm also interested to see how she does in the Ice Golem against the ads, being able to block that revive. 122k there on the A1. I'm just going to be quiet and speed this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. Let's compare damage. Alika came in just under 2 million damage, and Excruciator came in at 1.6 million. I mean, it's about what you'd expect from an arena champion. Let's see. No, thank you. Goodbye. One thing I want to point out is that Excruciator's kit is built around her fighting from under a veil, and she did not have that during this damage test. So let's go into Ice Golem. So one of the things that I want y'all to remember is that Excruciator, she is built to work under a veil. So let's see what her damage output looks like if she is under a veil buff. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Now we got the perfect veil. Poison's out. So the poison's just for conjure, just to help us just to control the waves. Let's do this A2, the Deck Snapper. Let's hit this in here in the bottom right corner. 223,000. That's solid. I'm just going to put this on auto, and we will see how it goes. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we got through. Let's kind of look at the damage here. So Excruciator came in at 3.1 million damage. One of the things I kind of have noticed was that because her A2 is on, let me show you here, because her A2 is on this 3-turn cooldown, and because she is dependent on being under a veil for this move to block the revive, I think it makes sense to run her with someone who is able to not only place a veil, but also who is able to reduce her cooldowns. So let's try this again. But this time though, we'll do it with Yumiko. And one thing I've got to say, I am very impressed with the damage that she is doing. I mean, she hits like a truck. Okay, so here's the team that we are going to use. We are going to use Duchess in the lead for the Veil and also for the Revive. Yumiko to give us our cooldowns back. Dark Elaine, just because she just does great damage. Excruciator, who's a point of the showcase. And then we'll use Lydia because she is neutral affinity. So, let's see how this goes. Okay, and there we go. And this run was in half the time. Let's compare damage. So Excruciator came in with 1.9 million and Dark Lane came in at 1.8. And also you noticed that Excruciator did block the ad on the right hand side. I mean, for being a single target nuker, she is doing exactly what she should be doing, which is nuking. So one final place I will show y'all her at, and I think this is going to be her strongest place early game. And I'm going to emphasize this early game in the arena. I think she's also playing Doom Tower against the Sifi waves. I mean, she's hitting for 300k with her A2. That's not bad. Let's see here. Now her weakness is that she does not have an AoE. So what that means is you got to build a team around her, and what she needs to do is that she needs to take out the main threat first. And one thing I also want to point out is because she starts to fight Veiled, you don't have to worry about someone with an annoying A1 like Seeker getting provoked the way that Gimbo has to. So I'm going to take this off auto and I will show you how this will work. Of course, no, in the arena, your meta is going to be an AoE, and Excruciator does not bring that. But what she does bring, though, is up block revive, which is very handy. And then she has Discern Meter Steal, and she's just a solid champion. Let's go ahead and turn off the enemy skills. So now what we need to do is prioritize who is going to be the biggest threat. And I'm going to take out the Herndig first. 213k and a block revive. Not bad. Everyone speed up again. Let's see if we can lock out their Gimbo. We do. Let's try to cycle back around. So this is her weak point. Whenever I first got Excruciator, when I first started playing Raid, I used her with a AoE nuker going first, and then Excruciator did the follow-up. If she had an extra turn mechanic like what Rotos does, I think she'd be broken. But this is how she works, folks. I mean, she hits hard. So like I was saying, to really get the most out of Excruciator, you've got to run her with someone who's able to give her a Veil. Duchess or Infernal Baroness, either one will work. Let's see here. Same as before. Let's take out the Warlord. Not a problem. Oh, now we are not running a defense down. And our Yumiko, she is not quite back yet to be able to give us the reduction, which is perfectly fine. I'm just going to put this on auto. Now with the Duchess, we're not going to lose this thing. We just have to wait for our skills to cycle back around. And provided we've got the Veil up when she and that was dumb for Duchess to do. Let's do the revive first, shall we? Now we will do Yumiko's A2. Let's go ahead and redo the Veil. Let's take out their Duchess. Goodbye, Duchess. See, so this is how it's going to be. It's not going to be a speed run. And because Raid's AI is clinically stupid, that doesn't help anything. Oh, strange. She got revived. Not sure why that happened. Yeah, I'm not sure why she was able to bring her back. But I'm just going to fast forward this. I'm not going to make y'all watch this, and I will show y'all when it finally ends. Okay, and we are back 3 minutes and 52 seconds later, but we were able to kind of come through as we had everything that we needed. We had the Veil. Yumiko was there, definitely helping with the cooldown reduction skills. And Excruciator came in at 600. Excruciator came in with 465,000 damage. Just a good solid run. So is she going to give you speed runs? No. And the fact that everything she does is single target is a problem, but what she does do, she does very, very well. I'm very impressed with her. So some final thoughts for Excruciator. If you need a single target damage dealer, especially if you are mid-game, or if you are early game, or if you are working on Doom Tower secret rooms, or rooms in Doom Tower that have a lot of rezzers, and you don't have very much in the way of block revive, look no further than Excruciator. She needs the setup. Like I said, she needs the Veil. And if you are able to give her that, she can bring a lot to the table. Well, y'all, this is Putinbot. I'm going to head on out. If y'all like this video, if you please give it a thumbs up and drop a subscribe on the channel, I would appreciate it. And I hope this guide was of help to y'all. I'll see y'all later, and have a good one. Bye-bye.